You can script, even if you think you can't. In this video, I will prove it to you, even if you've never touched Studio before. If you don't know me, my name is Kushal. I've been scripting since 2016, and I've also been teaching it since the moment I began scripting in 2016, as you can see right over here with all of my 8 years ago tutorials. In this video, I'm going to start by teaching you some basics, and then after each lesson, I'll give you a quiz to prove that you can do it, even without me telling you step by step. Now, as I teach you more and more stuff, the quizzes will get harder and harder. Just know that I believe in you, and as long as you watch the entire video and don't skip around, you will understand it and everything will be okay. Every single time you get a quiz right, you're going to get 1 point, and there are 5 quizzes in this video and 5 points total. Let's see how many points you can get. Alright, so I'm going to assume that you've never scripted before, so just go to roblox.com/home. This is the Roblox homepage, which you're probably familiar with, and then look for this create button right here. And then from here, you can click on create experience, and then just wait for Roblox Studio to do its thing. Now, if you see this auto recovery thing, you can just X out of here and you can click on base plate. Alrighty, so this is the base plate right here. This large gray thing right here is called the base plate. And then this lighter gray thing with this spiral design is called the spawn location. And these windows right here on the right are called Explorer and Properties. If you don't see them, please click on View and look for the Explorer, which should be right over here. So make sure you can see that, and then click on Properties. So if you can't see them, it might look like this. So click on Explorer and Properties, and you should be able to see them. And lastly, just click on the spawn location, and then right click it on the Explorer and click Delete, because we won't need it and it might mess us up. Alright, so the Explorer basically tells you where everything is in your game, and Properties tells you more information about a specific thing. So for example, let's add a part. I'm going to click on Home, and then click on Part. This right here is called a part. It literally looks like a Lego block. Alright, so if you click on your part, then your properties will show a whole bunch of information about that part. The first thing that I want you to notice is this thing called brick color. If you click it, you'll see there's a whole bunch of colors that we can set this part to. One such color is, boom, lime green. Another such color is, boom, cyan. Wait, how do you even say that color? Cyan. Okay, cyan. Alright, so now you can right click your part and you can delete it, because we won't need it because we're scripters. Now, inside of server script service, click on this plus sign right here, this plus button right here, and then click on script. This right here is going to be your first script, and look at what it says. It says print hello world. Now, what on earth does that even mean, right? Well, if you click back on your place right here and you click on view, click on this output right here. This right here is the output, and this is how scripts can communicate to us. And what this print hello world thing does is it basically tells this output to put hello world right here. And the way we're going to verify that this works is by clicking play right here. This blue play button is how we test our game. So I'm going to click this, and as you can see, it says hello world. Cool. So that's pretty cool. Let's stop this right here. Now I have a question for you. This isn't the first quiz, just a question. How would I make this say goodbye world? Okay, think about it. You can pause the video. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if you want this to say goodbye world, you just have to change this hello to goodbye. And then click on this play button right here, and there you go, goodbye world. Alright, so hello world, goodbye world, pretty easy, right? So let's actually make this say, Kushal says hello from YouTube. What do you think this is going to do? Just pause the video and try to explain it to yourself. If I were to click this play button, what do you think this is going to do? Just pause the video and try to explain it. 3, 2, 1. Alright, so if I click play, as you can see, it just prints Kushal says hello from YouTube. So in other words, whatever you put inside of this quotation mark right here, inside of these quotation marks, whatever you put in here will just go right over here. Alright, so now that you guys got the hang of it, let's actually move on to more fun things. So we're just going to delete this right here. And now I'm going to teach you how to tell the script. I'm going to teach you how to tell this thing to add a new part into workspace. So for example, last time, remember what we just did? We clicked on home, we clicked on part, and then we added this thing right here, and it was added right into workspace. That's exactly what we just did, right? So now we're going to learn how to basically tell this script to do that for us. So how do we tell this script to add a part and put it inside of workspace? That's what we're about to learn right now. So go back into your script window and just type exactly what I typed. Local myPart equals instance dot new parenthesis quotation marks part comma workspace. Now, what in the world did I just type? If you're like my friend Bob here, your head is probably looking at that line of code and spinning just like this, like wee 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 wee. Don't worry, I'll explain it to you. So, this right here, instance.new, this thing right here means Roblox create something for me. So instance.new means I want to create a new instance of a part. Okay, that's what that means. I want to create a new instance of a part. And I want to set that part's parent, meaning I want to put that part inside of workspace. Let me go through that again. Instance.new, that means I want to create a new instance of a part. And I want to put that part inside of workspace. Now, what is workspace? Workspace is just this thing right here. And if you remember, when we clicked on part over here, it literally just created a new part and it put it inside of workspace. So that is why we have workspace right here. So all we're saying with these two lines right here is I want to give everything to the right of this equal sign. So I want to give this whole thing a nickname. And I want the nickname of this thing to be that thing. That's all we're saying. So create a new part, put it in workspace, and give that part a nickname called myPart. Hopefully that can make sense, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Just creating a new part inside of workspace, and we're just going to call it myPart. That's it. So what's myPart? Oh, it's just a new part inside of workspace. So if you click play, would you look at that? You have your part, and also this is the old part. Let me actually get rid of that. So all we're saying here with these two words is I want to give everything to the right of this equal sign. So I want to give everything here a nickname, and I want that nickname to be myPart. That's all it is. That's all it is. So we're saying let myPart be equal to a new part inside of workspace. Does that make sense? So a new part inside of workspace, and we're just going to call it myPart. So what's myPart? It's just a new part inside of workspace. That's all it is. So now if you click play, you can see there it is. There's your part. This right here, this is myPart. See right there, this myPart? This myPart is referring to this part right here. It's really, really, really simple. Now, remember last time we also set this part's color to a different color. We set it equal to that crazy word I couldn't pronounce at the beginning. Cyan, right? Cyan. Yes, that's what it was. We set that part's color to cyan, and right here. So we set this part's color to cyan, and what we did was we basically set the part's brick color to cyan. That's all we did. Now, what if I want this part's brick color to be set to this color right here? Well, this brick color, the name of this brick color is new yellow. So if I wanted to set this part's brick color to a yellow color, all I have to do is click here and then click on this yellow button right here, and it sets the brick color to new yellow. But wait, how on earth do we do that with a script? How on earth do we do that with a script? In a script, there's no color button where I can just choose my color, right? So how on earth do we do that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We just have to myPart. Remember, myPart is that part we just created. And then dot. Now, what is the thing that we're trying to change? We're trying to change the color. And specifically, we're trying to change the brick color. So you can just double click this or just type out brick color. So myPart.brickColor equals, and then brickColor.new. Parenthesis, quotation, and right here you're just going to put the name of the brick color that you want to set it to. So in our case, we're going to use new yellow. And this also has to be spelled exactly as it is shown over here. So as you can see, now my part's brick color is new yellow. So if you click over here, you can choose any color you want, like our favorite. Give me a second. Cyan, that's how you say it. Just like this cyan color right here. You click it, and then you click on whatever color you want, and then remember the name of that. So cyan, C-Y-A-N, and make sure that you spell this exactly as it's shown here. So the C has to be capital. So instead of new yellow, maybe I want it to be a cyan color. I can just type it right here. Click play, and there you have it. There it is. Simple enough, right? Let's do it one more time. Right from the beginning. So remember, we're going to start with local. Local, my part, this is the nickname. So we're saying let my part be equal to a new instance, instance.new, a new instance of a part, and put that part inside of workspace. And then set my part's brick color to a new brick color, and then you just put whatever brick color you want here. So for example, maybe toothpaste. And then click on play, and there you have it. There's the part, and as you can see, if you click on the part, inside of the brick color, you have toothpaste. All right, ready for the first quiz? So I want this part to be a really red color, okay? A really red color. Now, when I say really red, I mean really red. Whoop, really red. I want this part to have a brick color that is really red. So hopefully that gives you enough information. You can pause the video now. I'm going to count to 5, and then I'm going to show you the solution. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay. So this is how you do it. So you just have to set this toothpaste to really red. That's it. And then click play. And there you have it. The really red part is inside of workspace. And there you go. There you have it. Now, if you got this quiz correct, good job. You've earned your first point. You did it. Make sure you like the video. Let's move on. All right. So we've done the brick color. Now, what else can we do? Well, let's click play here. And here's my part. Now, if you click on the part inside of properties, you can actually see there's something called transparency. And I really like this property because this is actually what I use during Halloween events to create spooky things like ghosts. So what we're going to do is we're going to experiment with this. So right now the transparency is 0. What happens if I set it to 0.5? Would you look at that? The part is now half visible, right? It's like half transparent. Now, what do you think will happen if I set this 0.5 to 0.9? Would you look at that? Now you can barely see the part. It's there, but like it's harder to see, right? Now, what do you think will happen if I set this part's transparency to 0.99? I can barely even see that it's there. Can you even see that? I can't even tell where it is, but if I walk around, look at that, see that bump? Yeah, that's where my part is. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I hope you've noticed that if you have the transparency, if you have this number be closer and closer to 1, then it becomes more and more invisible, right? So if you set the transparency to 1, then you can't see it at all. It's completely invisible. And if the transparency is 0, then you can see the entire thing. It's completely visible. And any number in between, you can use a slider right here, any number in between will change the transparency, and it will make it somewhat visible and somewhat invisible. So just like that, you can see the different effects of different numbers. All right, cool. Now, how do you do that with a script? Well, remember how we did brick color? My part dot brick color equals brick color dot new something, and then you just put whatever color you want over here. Well, this is nice. This is fun. However, for transparency, it's a little bit different. It's actually easier. You don't need this brick color dot new stuff. You can just say my part dot transparency equals, and then you just have to give it whatever number you want. So if I want the transparency to be 0.6, I just have to type it in here. So all we're saying here is set the transparency of my part to 0.6. If you click play, there you have it. The part is now 0.6 transparency. And whatever I set this number to will be the new transparency. So if I set this to 0.2, then that will be the new transparency of my part. So if you look over here, you can see right here, the transparency set to 0.2, which is the same number that I had over here. All right, cool. I hope you're ready for your next quiz. So we're going to do this now. So as I told you before, I like Halloween. I like transparency because this thing right here allows me to create something that I personally like to call a ghost part, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a ghost part. I'm going to actually make one without using code, and your challenge, your quiz, will be to code it, okay? So here's what a ghost part looks like. Home, part, and then the brick color is set to any white color, so we can use ghost gray. So it could be a ghost gray color, doesn't have to be white. It kind of looks white. Or you can set it to like institutional white or pearl. Any one of these three colors, okay? We're just going to use ghost gray because, you know, it's a ghost part. But a ghost part is this whitish grayish color. And it also has a transparency of 0.7. This right here, I call this a ghost part. Hopefully you can see why, because it looks kind of like a ghost part. So once again, the brick color is ghost gray, the transparency is 0.7. Now you, my friend, go ahead and code it. Let's see what you come up with. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. You can go ahead and pause the video and take as long as you need, but I'm going to continue in 5 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's continue. All right, so by now, hopefully you've created your ghost part. So now I'm going to teach you how I would do it. So I'm just going to start from the beginning. So local my part equals instance.new part. Oh my goodness, workspace. And then my part.transparency equals 0.7 because it's a ghost part, which I defined as having a transparency of 0.7. And then the my part's brick color is going to be a new brick color. So brick color.new, and then just call it ghost gray. And there's how you could do it. This is one way of doing it. Now, of course, you could have done the brick color first, like this, and then the transparency, you know, whatever works with you. It's okay. As long as you created a ghost part, and let's actually see what this looks like if we click the play button. So I'm going to click play, and here's my ghost part. Hopefully you guys were able to produce something like this. If you were, really, really good job. You've been paying attention very actively, and congratulations, you got your second point. So you're now at 2 points. Now, of course, that's assuming you got the first one, but you know, if you got this far, you probably got the first one, right? So yeah, you're probably at 2 points by now. If you haven't gotten 2 points, maybe this was a little bit tough. It's okay. It's totally fine. We're just going to take things one step at a time, and you will understand it. Even if you didn't get the point for this one, at least you understand how it works, right? That's the most important part. All right, now really quickly, if you guys feel like you're learning really well so far, I just want to give you 2 quick resources. The first thing is completely free. This is a blog where I literally just write tutorials, and I try to do this every single morning. So here are some free Roblox scripting tutorials, and there's actually a whole bunch of other stuff like all of this. There's actually a developer's corner where you can find all of these other articles. For example, you can learn about the Roblox algorithm. You can learn about how you can motivate yourself to learn stuff. A whole bunch of really, really cool and fun stuff for free. So you'll get access to all of these articles for free. I think there's like 38 articles so far, completely for free. You just have to go in the link in the description. And yeah. Now the second thing that you might like, this one is paid. If you want to support me and you feel like you've been learning really, really well so far, then you might be interested in this book that I wrote. This is the Beginner's Guide to Roblox Scripting book. And basically, the book is structured in a way where every single line is explained to you. There's vocabulary lists at the end of every chapter with tons and tons of code samples. There's quizzes just like what you're doing right now, and everything is explained to you in a way where you can understand it. And then at the end of the book, there's actually a chapter where you'll be able to code your own admin commands from scratch, like completely from scratch, where you'll be able to do it all by yourself. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure you check the other link in the description. And let's resume. All right, so that's cool and all, but what if I want to change the shape of this thing? Like, what if I don't want this rectangular prism looking thing? Maybe I want this thing to be a different shape. Well, if you scroll down, you'll see there's a property called shape. And instead of block, you have all of these options right here. So I can make it a ball, I can make it a wedge, I can make it a cylinder, I can make it a corner wedge. So this is like a special type of wedge. And there's all these options, so let's start with ball. So how would you actually script this? How would you create a ball? Well, think about it. This isn't the quiz yet, but think about it. You have the part, and we had just set the shape to ball. Now remember, what if we wanted to change transparency? We just had to do my part.transparency equals, and then maybe like 0.5. Well, wouldn't it seem probable that if you want to change the shape of this my part, you could just do something like my part.shape and then equals ball? Like, shouldn't that just work? Well, yes. This is very, very, very close, except that Roblox thinks that this ball is a name, a nickname. Roblox thinks this is a nickname. Just like how we've set this part's nickname to my part, Roblox thinks this ball is a nickname for something, which isn't right. This is not a nickname. So what we have to do is we have to put this in quotation marks. And this basically tells Roblox this is not a nickname, this is a string. A string is anything in quotation marks. So right here, so we actually have two strings in this code right here. We have ball, which is a string, and part, which is a string. Anything with quotation marks is a string. So now if you run this, we should have a ball which is 50% transparent, and that's exactly what we have here. Now, one thing that you've probably noticed is this right here, this the ball just, okay, I must have kicked it. Well, one thing that you might have noticed is this stud looking thing right here. This, you know, those things in Legos that have those I don't know what they're called, but this thing right here, the stud looking thing, if you want to get rid of it, Roblox actually has something called material, and you just have to set the material to smooth plastic and it'll go away. So once again, material, by default, Roblox sets it to plastic. It's right here. It looks like this, but if you want this thing to be gone, you just have to set it to smooth plastic, and it has to be spelled like this. Now, how do you think we changed the material? Well, how did we change the shape? Just do the same thing. My part dot material equals, and then you'd probably think, oh, I would just type smooth plastic here, right? And this is very probable. This is what anyone would do. However, once again, Roblox thinks this is a variable. Roblox thinks this is a nickname for something, but that's not the case. So we have to tell Roblox it's a string, and that's how we do it. And this right here will create an awesome ball, which doesn't have any stud looking things on it. So this is a smooth plastic ball. All right, quiz number 3. Here's some opportunity to earn another point. I want you guys to code this. It's going to be a red ball, just like this. I want you guys to code this right here. So this is a really red ball with the material as smooth plastic. So I want it to look just like that. So go ahead and pause the video and I will show you the solution in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. Here's how you would code it. So you have your part. You can just do the same thing that we did before. So my part.shape equals ball. Or you could have set the color to red, or, you know, the material to smooth plastic. It doesn't matter what order you do it in, as long as you have it like this, smooth plastic, and then my part dot brick color equals brick color dot new really red, just like that. And that's how you create the red ball, which is right here. All right, now we're going to make things really fun. Okay, now it's going to get really cool. This is going to be awesome. Like, trust me, just keep watching. Okay. All right, so I don't know if you guys have noticed yet, but whenever we create anything using a script, it just seems to place the ball right over here, right? Like, isn't that just an odd spot? Why is it over here? Why doesn't it just put the ball like over here or like up in the sky, right? Well, that's just how Roblox does it. But as scripters, we can tell Roblox to do other things. So I want this ball to, from now on, I want this ball to spawn all the way over here. And it's okay if it falls because, you know, gravity. But I want this ball to spawn like over here, and I want it to fall just like that. How do you think I could do that? Well, we have something called position, which is right here. So if you scroll down under the properties of your part, as long as it's selected here, you can scroll down, you'll see position, which is right here. And this position right here basically defines where this ball is. And this position is 3 different numbers. So we have X, Y, and Z. Now, Y right here, this basically means where it is up and down. Okay, think about it like that. Where is this ball located up and down? And if you set this Y to 10, guess what? This is now 10 units above the ground. That's what that means. When Y is set to 10, it's now 10 units up there, okay? And what if I set Y to 50? Well, now it's 50 units up there. And what if I set Y to 100? Well, now it's going to fall all the way from the sky, right? And this X and Z right here just tell you how far away it is on the left and right. So for example, if you set this to 10, the ball moved right. If you set this back to 0, the ball is left. If you set this to like 20, the ball went all the way over here. What if I set this to 50? Well, now the ball's all over there, right? So that's on the left and right, and the Z is on the front and back. So maybe I'll set this to 5. As you can see, it went 5 backward. You can set it to -10, and then it went forward because it's negative. And you can just mess around with these, but for now, all we care about is this Y. All we care about is going up and down. Okay, so if you set this to 500, it's falling from the sky. I don't know, right there, see it? Boom! And it just bounces. And now, if you want to set the position, so what we just saw, of anything, you're going to do my part of any part. Then you're going to do my part dot position equals. And then remember, we had to give it 3 numbers, right? So we had to actually give the part. So when we created a part, we had to give it 3 numbers. So right here, position, it wants 3 numbers. It wants an X, a Y, and a Z. And we can't just say 0, 50, 0. We can't just do this. And the reason is because Roblox wants us to use something called a vector3. Vector3.new, just like what we did with brickcolor.new, remember? Remember we did my part.brickcolor equals brickcolor.new, and then we said something like really red. Just like this right here, we're just using something called a vector3. That's all it is, and we're using position. So this right here, this means go 50 up, okay? 50 studs up, so 50 above the ground. And if I run this, it's going to create a part, and it's going to spawn it 50 studs above the ground. So if I click play, it actually fell. Okay, let me try it again with 500 to really show it to you. So it's going to actually spawn it all the way in the sky, and as you can see, it just clobbered me. It's just bouncing on my head. So that basically means spawn the part all the way in the sky. That's what this 500 means. So 500 is the distance from the ground all the way to the sky, or from the ground to where that part is spawned. So if I want to spawn anything that falls from the sky, I just have to set this Y right here to a really high number. Like if you set it to 900, then it's going to fall like all the way from the sky, like it's falling from space. So that's how you can make anything fall from the sky. So, you know what I want you to do for the next quiz? I want you to create a falling red ball. Okay? So hopefully you understood that, right? A falling red ball. So basically what we just created, but I want it to fall from the sky. That's it. Go ahead. Falling red ball from the sky. Make sure the material is smooth plastic, and pause the video. Go ahead and try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Here's how you do it. My part.brickcolor equals brickcolor.new, really red. Remember, this is a really red ball. My part.shape is equal to ball. And then my part.material is equal to smooth plastic. And lastly, the new line of code is we just have to add this right here, which basically makes the ball fall from the sky. As you can see, whee! And it fell from the sky, and because it's a ball, it's literally just rolling away. All right, so that's how you do it. Now, the last part is I'm going to teach you about something called a for loop. Now, this is going to be a little bit challenging for some people, but bear with me. I think you're going to understand it. Do you remember in the beginning of the video, we had print hello world, right? We had this thing right here, print hello world. And what did this do? Well, it basically printed hello world onto the output, right? So when you click play, it just put hello world there. And remember that we did a goodbye world here too. So whatever you put in here will go right in here. So if you put goodbye world, there you go. There's goodbye world. Now, what if I want to print hello world, but I want to print it 100 times? Well, one way of doing it is by torturing yourself and by manually typing it all out, right? So I can literally just type out print hello world, and I can do this 100 times, and that would really suck. Now, a better way of doing it is by copying it and then pasting it, and then you're just doing this 100 times. So look at the line number on the left side right here. You can see this is the 12th line. That means I've done it 12 times, and I can just keep on doing this. But an even better way that I'm about to teach you is by using something called a for loop. So if I want this to print 10 times, I can just do this, and it's just going to print it 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I click play, there you have it. 10 times hello world has been printed. Now, if I want to do this 10 times, I can actually do it in an easier way by using something called a for loop. So a for loop goes like this. And then I can type print hello world. So let me actually explain what all of this means. So this for right here means I want to create a for loop. A for loop is basically something that tells Roblox to do something over and over and over again. So I want to create a new for loop. You don't have to worry about this I. So for I equals 1 means start at 1 and then stop at 10. And then do whatever is in here. Okay? So whatever is in between this do and this end will happen 10 times. And how do I know it's going to happen 10 times? Because this number is 10 right here. So we're starting at 1, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's going to stop. So this right here basically says print hello world 10 times. That's all it means. So if I click play, it printed hello world 10 times, as you can see right here. So what if I want to print hello world 90 times? Well, I don't have to do copy and pasting, right? I don't have to copy and paste. I can just set this to 90. It's going to print hello world 90 times. And there you have it. As you can see, that's a lot of hello worlds, right? 90 times I printed hello world and I didn't even have to copy and paste. It's genius. It's absolutely genius. Now, here we go. This is going to be great. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Let me give you a quick hint first. So, what if I want to spawn 90 parts? So remember, we don't just have to print 90 things. We can do other things, right? What if I want to spawn 90 parts? Well, local myPart equals instance.new part workspace. There you have it. This is going to spawn 90 parts, okay? I'm going to click play, and there you have it. 90 parts have spawned. It's actually really, really cool. Now, some of you are going to go, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. What if I set this to 90 bajillion? And then this is going to like probably crash your Roblox studio. So you probably don't want to do this. But this right here is going to create 90 instances of this part. So hopefully this makes sense to you. So what if I want to make 200? I just have to set this to 200. And then it creates 200 parts. A little more laggy, right? This is a lot of parts. All right, last and final quiz. For the 5th point, I want you guys to spawn 200 falling red balls. Yes, 200. Yes, it's going to look cool too, okay, trust me. So, I'm going to tell you that you don't have to change anything here and you don't have to change anything here. You just type all your code here. Type all of your code here and it will work fine. So go ahead, try it out, pause the video. I'm going to give you the answer in 5 seconds. So, pause the video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's do this. So you have a for loop right here. So this is saying do it 200 times and then set the parts brick color to brick color.new, really red, my part dot hold on. Oh yeah, we're creating balls. Shape equals ball, and then my part dot material equals smooth plastic. And then the last thing is we have to set the position. And I'm going to use 300. You could have, as long as your part spawns and falls, it's okay. I'm actually going to use 600 to illustrate my point. This will create 200. This will create 200 falling red balls. Let's try it. Okay, ready, set, go. Uh-oh, I'm about to get, yeah. that's actually that. Let's actually verify that's 200. Yep, 200 parts. Those are all 200 parts. Now, really quickly, that might have, that might have looked a little bit weird to you. I'm going to introduce you to something called task.wait. This right here tells Roblox to wait. So this right here is telling Roblox to wait 1 second. So create a red ball and then wait 1 second. And it's going to do it again. So it's going to create a red ball, wait 1 second. 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 It's going to do it 200 times. So it's going to keep on doing that. And we call that a loop. You know why we call it a loop? Because it starts here, goes here, and then it goes back to where it started, like a loop. And now if you click play, my character will get hit by many oh it's actually colliding with each other, so that it's going to spawn 200 balls just like that. And there you have it. And if you actually set this to like 0.05, I'm actually going to run this in a different way. You can see the actual 200 red balls that have been created by our code. Wow, they're actually lining up quite straight. Wait, why aren't they falling? Wait. Oh my god, that's so many. Wow. Is this like perfectly balanced? Okay, well, there you have it. 200 red balls. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.